Picture this. You're scrolling through your phone on a slow Thursday morning, sipping on lukewarm coffee, and bam, you're hit with a headline that makes you spit out that mediocre sip. Hailey Bieber planning conservatorship for Justin. Wait, what? Conservatorship? Isn't that what Britney Spears just broke free from? And now Hailey, the forever cool, ice matcha-sipping, trend-setting Hailey, is about to be the one pulling the legal strings for Justin Bieber? Yep, we didn't see this coming either. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It is free and help us bring you enjoyable content. And of course, watch till the end. What started as a few awkward interviews and erratic paparazzi photos has spiraled into something way more serious. There were whispers of breakdowns, late-night crying fits, and even cryptic Instagram stories that felt more like SOS messages than celebrity updates. But now, thanks to a recent bombshell reveal, we're finally starting to understand just how deep Justin's struggles go and why Hailey is stepping into what might be the hardest chapter of their marriage yet. So grab a snack, maybe a blanket, this one's emotional, and let's dive into the heartbreak, the drama, and the raw truth behind Justin's condition and Hailey's jaw-dropping decision. The public breakdown, when the cameras caught more than just a glimpse. Let's rewind a bit. You probably remember the weird paparazzi video where Justin was seen pacing around his car barefoot while yelling into his phone. Or that time he pulled his hoodie so far over his face it looked like he was trying to disappear. Fans joked at first, classic Bieber moment. But behind the humor was a growing unease. It wasn't just a bad day. It was a pattern. Something was clearly off. Paparazzi photos showed him looking gaunt, disoriented. Even at public events, his usual cheeky charm was replaced by vacant stares and nervous fidgeting. For a while, everyone thought it was just stress. The fame, the pressure, the internet trolls, it could get to anyone. But then came the posts. Justin's Instagram turned into a cryptic diary. One day he'd post a blurry photo with a sad caption about finding peace in chaos, and the next he'd be lashing out, sometimes vaguely, sometimes directly. And yes, some of those posts were aimed at Hailey. At first, fans were confused. Was he joking? Was this performance art? But as the posts grew more erratic, the concern turned real. Longtime believers began commenting with messages like, "We love you, please get help," and "This doesn't sound like you, Justin." Then came the post. One picture. No caption. Just a mirror selfie with tears in his eyes and visible scratches on his hand. It was raw, unfiltered, and undeniably a cry for help. But was anyone listening? For months, Hailey stayed quiet. She posted skincare tutorials and fashion shots, business as usual. But behind the glam filters and Vogue covers, she was reportedly dealing with a full-blown emotional crisis at home. Close sources say Hailey was terrified. Not for her reputation. Not for the headlines. But for Justin. It wasn't until a recent Vogue cover interview that she finally cracked the door open. Marriage is hard. And when someone you love is suffering deeply, it changes you. That one line was enough to send fans into a frenzy. Was she admitting it? Was she hinting at something deeper? Turns out, she was. Because a week later, TMZ dropped the bomb. Justin Bieber is battling a newly diagnosed medical condition that's been affecting his mental state and behavior for months. And Hailey? She was no longer just a supportive wife. She was actively exploring legal protection options, including conservatorship. According to leaked sources from inside the couple's inner circle, and trust us, these sources don't talk unless things are serious, Justin has been battling a rare neurological condition that's messing with more than just his mood. The condition, while not yet confirmed publicly, includes symptoms like severe emotional dysregulation, paranoia, and chronic fatigue. It's something that could go unnoticed for years until stress triggers it, and when it hits hard. Suddenly, everything started making sense. The erratic behavior, the confusing posts, the public meltdowns. It wasn't just Justin being Justin. It was a man struggling with a serious medical issue and trying desperately to function in the public eye while doing it. There are rumors, some whispered in Beverly Hills cafes, others shouted across TikTok, that Hailey had been pushing for medical intervention for months. She reportedly tried therapy, spiritual counseling, even an experimental wellness retreat in the desert. But nothing worked, and things kept getting worse. Not because she wanted control, but because she was out of options. Friends say she consulted legal experts and even reached out to families of other celebrities who've been through conservatorship. Yes, Britney's team included. She needed to know, how do you protect someone from themselves without breaking their trust? It was the ultimate catch. 22. How do you be a partner and a protector? To understand why this hit so hard, we've got to rewind to where it all began, baby Bieber days. Imagine being 15, famous, rich, and surrounded by people who say yes to everything. No normal school, no normal relationships. Just tour buses, meet and greets, and millions of strangers dissecting your every move. Justin didn't get to grow up, he had to survive. So it's no surprise that even now, in his late 20s, he's still carrying trauma from years in the spotlight. Fame isn't just attention. It's a distortion machine. It warps your sense of self. Makes it hard to know who you are without the cameras. And for someone already battling a hidden medical condition, it's a ticking time bomb. Sources close to the couple say things have shifted dramatically. Their home is now a quiet, no-drama zone. No late-night parties. Fewer public outings. Just healing, therapy, and long walks away from the noise. Hailey has reportedly taken over managing Justin's schedule. She controls media access, business decisions, and has even paused a few of her own ventures to focus on his recovery. Friends describe her as exhausted but determined. She's in full-blown caretaker mode, and while she doesn't talk about it publicly, her recent interviews hint at the emotional toll. One friend said, "Hailey isn't trying to be a hero. She's just trying to save the person she loves." That's the big question, right? Will Hailey really go through with the conservatorship? Will Justin recover fully? Will we ever see the old Biebs again? Honestly, no one knows. But what we do know is this: sometimes, love looks like sacrifice. It looks like making hard decisions behind closed doors. It looks like staying silent while the world speculates. And it looks like standing by someone even when they're falling apart. This isn't a gossip story. It's a love story, one with complications, heartbreak, and courage. Maybe the real takeaway here isn't about Justin or Hailey. Maybe it's about us. About how quick we are to judge celebrities without knowing what they're going through. About how mental health is still too often dismissed or misunderstood. And about how relationships are hard, even when you're rich and beautiful. We've all had moments where we've felt like we're losing control. We've all watched someone we love struggle and felt powerless. And maybe, just maybe, watching Hailey and Justin go through this makes us feel a little more human, too. So here we are, at the end of a story that's still very much unfolding. Justin's healing. Hailey's holding on. And the rest of us? We're watching, hoping, and maybe, just maybe, learning how to love a little more fiercely, a little more patiently, and a little more honestly. What would you do if someone you loved needed help but didn't want it? Have you ever felt like the world didn't see what you were really going through? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about it. Let's keep this conversation going. Because sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is listen.